Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're exploring what a lot of folks consider to be the absolute holy grail of coding AI. I mean, just picture this, a coding assistant that isn't just trained on finished, polished public code repositories, but is actually trained on the exact, messy workflow of how developers really operate. We're talking about trillions of tokens of real developers prompting, iterating, and constantly correcting an AI, right inside their own editor. That is the incredibly ambitious bet behind Grok 4.5, which just dropped on July 8, 2026.
Okay, let's dive into this. Elon Musk made a really blunt pitch for this new release. He's claiming it is an Opus-class model, but with some distinct advantages: faster, more token efficient, and way cheaper. Now, that is a massive claim to make in today's highly competitive AI landscape. So our goal for this explainer is to impartially test that exact pitch against the actual published benchmarks. We want to cut through the social media hype and see what the data actually tells us.
To do that, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the SpaceX and Cursor context, look at the trillion token bet, dig into the benchmarks and pricing, issue a really important privacy caution, and then wrap up with the broader four-way AI battle.
All right, moving into Section 1, SpaceX and Cursor context, joining forces.
$60 billion. Let that number just sink in for a second. That is an astronomical price tag, and I think it proves that a really good dark mode editor might literally be worth its weight in gold. Earlier in 2026, SpaceX acquired Cursor, the wildly popular AI coding editor, in a massive stock deal reportedly worth that exact $60 billion amount. Concurrently, xAI began operating much more closely under the broader SpaceX umbrella, and together, these entities formed what everyone is now calling SpaceXAI. So why does this matter? Well, it means Grok 4.5 wasn't built in a vacuum by some isolated research lab just guessing at what developers need. It is a jointly trained model, co-branded by xAI and Cursor, utilizing that insane Colossus infrastructure to directly leverage how millions of coding sessions actually unfold in the real world.
And that brings us to Section 2, the trillion token bet. Real developer data.
Traditionally, AI models are trained on public code repositories. Basically, they read the finished, polished code that finally gets committed to a repo. It's kind of like learning to write a novel by only reading the published books. But Grok 4.5 completely breaks that mold. It was trained jointly on trillions of tokens drawn directly from real developer and agent interactions right inside the Cursor editor. It captures the entire messy, highly realistic workflow. It sees exactly how developers prompt the AI, how they iterate on the output, and how they painstakingly correct its mistakes across multiple turns.
It's basically this brilliant two-loop recursive improvement process. First, they capture these real interactions inside Cursor. Then they apply textual feedback reinforcement learning, which essentially means the model is learning directly from the real-time corrections that human developers are making. Finally, they feed all of those improvements right back into the Colossus compute infrastructure for the next round of training. It creates this incredible compounding data advantage that, frankly, most other frontier labs simply do not have access to at this scale.
Okay, Section 3, benchmarks and pricing. Let's talk speed and cost.
Let's just geek out on the core specs for a minute. Grok 4.5 uses a mixture of experts architecture built on xAI's new V9 foundation. It features a really solid 500,000 token context window. Now, sure, that's smaller than the million token windows we've seen on models like Kimi K3, but honestly, it's plenty for the vast majority of workloads. But the absolute crucial point here is that 80 tokens per second serving speed. This is literally a game changer for agentic workflows. When an AI is acting as an agent, say reading a file, proposing a change, running a test, it loops dozens and dozens of times. In those scenarios, latency compounds drastically. That blazing speed is what keeps the developer experience feeling highly responsive and fluid. So, the big question: how does it actually stack up against the fierce competition? Well, actually, scratch that. It's not a complete clean sweep. Grok 4.5 leads outright on SWE Marathon, which tests long, sustained coding tasks, and it scores a super impressive 91.3% on Vulkan Bench. It also performs strongly on Cursor Bench 3.2. Though, to be totally impartial here, we do have to note that an earlier Cursor codebase snapshot was inadvertently included in their training data, which gave it a known data contamination advantage on that specific test. However, on deep production-grade software engineering benchmarks like Deep Sway and SWE Bench Pro, it actually trails Claude Fable 5. So, it is incredibly competitive, absolutely, but Claude still holds the edge when we're talking about complex production-level engineering.
But where Grok 4.5 really attempts to dominate the market
is on price. Grok 4.5 is coming in at $2 per million input tokens and $6 per million output tokens. Compare that to Claude Opus 4.8 at $5 input and $25 output, or GPT 5.6 Sol at $5 input and $30 output. SpaceXAI is aggressively undercutting the major frontier labs by roughly 60% on input and a massive, unbelievable 76% on output tokens.
And this brilliantly illustrates their strategy for those agentic workflows we talked about. To push cost efficiency even further, for repeated context, Grok 4.5 drops to just 50 cents per million cached input tokens. Now keep in mind, their 50% launch discount did end on July 21, 2026, so these are the standard, non-discounted rates. Still, this pricing strategy drastically lowers the cost of agentic tasks that require you to constantly reload the exact same codebase context over and over again.
Which leads us straight into Section 4, a critical privacy caution. We really need to talk about data handling.
Before you go and point any new AI model at your production codebase, especially one containing proprietary trade secrets or sensitive credentials, you have to genuinely ask yourself and your organization, is your proprietary codebase actually safe? You have to deeply understand the data handling posture of the tools you're bringing into your environment.
For example, an independent wire-level teardown of xAI's Grok build CLI found a major red flag. The tool was silently uploading several gigabytes of background repository data straight to a cloud storage bucket. And honestly, even more concerning, the standard user-facing privacy toggle didn't actually stop those uploads. Now, while this specific teardown does predate Grok 4.5, it is the exact same family of tools from the exact same parent company. The undeniable facts are that consumer and free-tier conversations may be used for future model training, and only business-tier accounts actually default to not training on submitted data. So the absolute crucial takeaway for us builders here, verify network behavior independently and read those terms extremely carefully before handing over the keys to your sensitive repos.
Finally, let's zoom out for Section 5, the four-way AI battle and the broader 2026 AI landscape.
If you've been following our AI Power Wars series, you know we are currently tracking 4 highly distinct philosophies in the industry right now. Moonshot is betting on raw scale with 2.8 trillion parameters. Thinking Machines is betting heavy on post-training adaptability and enterprise fine-tuning. OpenAI is going all in on tiered product segmentation, giving us those Sol, Terra, and Luna models for different enterprise needs. And now, SpaceXAI is betting the farm on proprietary data, leveraging arguably the highest value training signal in the world, which is real, high-volume developer interactions inside an IDE. As builders today, you are no longer just choosing between slightly different flavors of identical models. You are choosing between entirely different strategic philosophies.
So I want to leave you with a provocative question to really chew on. Which of these 4 strategic bets do you believe will ultimately dominate the rest of 2026? Will proprietary interaction data finally outpace raw parameter scale? It is such a fascinating time to be building AI products, isn't it? If you want to keep tracking these models, understanding their underlying strategies, and learning how to actually apply them in the real world, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks so much for exploring this with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.